It is officially my favorite time of the year because we have got ourselves a new FC game. FC26 is here, and I am immediately getting into my first rebuild of the year. Mr. Rebuild is back for another year. But I would like to say a big thank you to EA Sports for the early access of this game. The icons and heroes, that's a new tab. I'm definitely going to be exploring that at some point this year. But we're going the authentic route to start things off this year. We are going to be doing an Aston Villa rebuild to start. There are so many new additions to the load up settings this year. You can even release players before you start. We've got the unexpected events. We've got points deductions. Oh my God. There are so many possibilities to things you can start career mode with this year. I'm keeping it pretty easy though for this first one. You actually get to sign a contract before signing on this year. I wonder if we don't get into Champions League place, what's going to happen. This is the default starting 11 we do take over at Villa Park with. Aston Villa's start to the Premier League season has been shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't want that happening. We're rebuilding Villa. But lads, if you are excited for the year ahead, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe down below. We're going to be pumping out the content, so come along, join the ride. Bro, we're just stacked on our midfield though. I'm going to convert Morgan Rogers to a right midfielder, changing the formation to have Tielemans play in center midfield, because for him to go to attacking midfielder takes like 400 weeks. Yeah, look, 408 weeks. Tielemans is too good to not have in the squad. I don't intend on this being a realistic rebuild, but bro, our midfield is absolutely stacked. Like, what are Villa doing in terms of an FC perspective? You got Gessan, who they signed this summer, Daniel Mayan, Leon Bailey obviously on loan at Roma, but then Morgan Rogers starting at that right midfield role. Just absolutely heaving there. I might sell some of these guys to get some more money, and I'm not so sure. So many players off on loan though in this Villa squad. Oh, okay, so I'm just doing some looking right now. They show the potential this year. They show the potential when you're sorting for players. That's actually a really, really nice addition. It would be nice if they showed that for your own team. That would be really nice. So we've changed up the formation, and I want to make a big change to start things off. I'll show you the formation switch up at the end of the window, but for now, you can probably figure out what I've done if you can see who this signing is. Would have really liked at least one new transfer cutscene, but Conor Gallagher is the man coming to Villa Park. Spent a couple years away at Atletico Madrid, but now he's back in the Premier League, signing for us here for £25.5 million. I will be keeping an eye on the conversations tab though. I don't know what the unique events situation is going to be like in FC26. Hopefully it doesn't blow up the club every single career mode. At least we got some different little pitches here. Okay, Dan Burn. All right, Dan Burn getting bigger than he already is. But at least there are some updated player pitches in the game this year. That's nice. That's nice, Sam. If Conor Gallagher was our first signing of FC26, then Emil Buendia is my first player sale of the game. Cashing in on him now that I'm playing a formation without an attacking midfielder, selling him to Newcastle. Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa are a decent backline partnership at Villa, but I want to get somebody that can go alongside Ezri Konsa for the next 3 or 4 years. Somebody that can get a little more growth than Pau Torres. So we've made the signing of Alex Sandro from Lille, £20 million to the Brazilian centre-half. I do want Ian Maatsen as the starting left-back though, so we're going to cash in on Luca Digne, the Frenchman heading to Manchester City, £17.5 million. I'm pumped about that. That is pure profit. And when I say pure profit, it's because, yeah, Ian Maatsen's going to get that starting left-back role. Ollie Watkins is the only striker in the books at the club though. A lot of positions we have players on loan, not at striker. Only one in the entire club is Watkins. Need to nip that one in the bud nice and early. Welcome 75 rated striker Roberto Piccoli from Fiorentina. And I do intend on having John McGinn as the starting left midfielder, at least this season. I don't want Illing Jr. rotting away on the reserves though. I'm going to loan him to Portugal for 12 months. Speaking of loans, I noticed Jadon Sancho wasn't on the squad in this game. Of course, he is loaned to Aston Villa in real life. This is an unfinished version of the game, so there will be little things like this, but hopefully when you guys get your hands on the game tomorrow or the day after, these sort of things should be updated. But I do want to see if I can get him in the club on loan, because I mean, he's on the thumbnail. He's on the thumbnail. I don't want to start the year off clickbaiting you lads. Let's go see if we can get Jadon Sancho in on loan. Approach to loan. Far out. Too low. The contract is too short because he's got 12 months on his contract. I could bring him in on a super cheap deal, man. But I want John McGinn as the starting left mid. Morgan Rogers officially converted, though, to a right midfielder. Stays at an 82, but that is a step in the right direction. But after our first transfer window as Villa manager, this is what the starting 11 now looks like. This was a tough one. Normally, when I jump into a rebuild, I know exactly where I want to attack, but I was conflicted on so many areas with this squad because there is so much good depth. Players like Onana and Mayan and Gussan being on the bench doesn't feel right in my core. Maatsen into the starting 11 though. Big pressure on a few players though. Probably Matty Cash the most pressure because I do have £38 million still in the budget. I do plan on using that in January. It's just a question of where. I want us qualifying for the Champions League next season though, fellas, whether that's by the Premier League or by the Europa League. Why is it like this when I click on standings? How can I see the standings? Okay, there we go. I don't know why that happened there. Maybe because I was going through the calendar. Also, we can immediately go and look at every other competition in the world from the jump on this screen, which makes things a lot easier to keep track of. I mean, you could do it in the other games, but it was more friction to get there. Now all you have to do is press like R1 and it's a lot less friction. But anyways, let's go see where we're sitting on January 1st. Before we do that, I wanted to take a look at the manager market. You can, like, we're sitting here. Bro, I could apply for the job basically anywhere in the world. What's happening? You can add them to the watch. So obviously everybody is safe at the moment, but that would be very, very fun if we jumped throughout the career mode. Not doing that today though. Villa is winning a Champions League with Mr. Rebuild at the helm. So right now we sit 8th in the Premier League here on the 1st of January on 31 points, only 3 points out of the Europa League spots, 4 out of the Champions League. That is the one we're looking out for. We did sell Bradley Burrows though. I didn't mean to. It just got him out of there. That's the thing. He didn't have a release clause on him or anything. He just got sold on the 27th of September for £1.9 million. I am so confused. Bro, what is going on with this manager thing already? Sunderland, is it broken? Oh, okay, it switched around. Adil Schmidt got sacked by Sunderland. They signed some random Romanian guy. Daniel Farka went to Italy. There is a lot of movement already. Simeone went to PSG. I had it on moderate. We have already got some of the biggest names in football, well-known managers. Luis Enrique moving clubs. Dude, look at this. Oscar Naylor coming and telling us Barcelona job is available and we are a leading candidate. PSG and Atletico Madrid. This is kind of crazy. But yeah, for me, Matty Cash, he's not improving much, especially compared to the rest of the squad. I love this dude. Funny guy, Mateus Cash, but I think I'm going to look to upgrade, put him on the transfer list, cash in, and get a world-class right back to help us on that Champions League push. Yo, these pre-game graphics are kind of sick right now. Why does this look like a movie poster or something? And there we go. Matty Cash is out of the club. Our favorite English turned Polish defender is leaving. We're going to be able to make some big moves though at the right back role, and he is going to be going to Manchester United. But look, the opportunities presented itself. Connor Bradley stuck behind Frimpong at Liverpool. He thought he was going to get his opportunity when Trent Alexander-Arnold went to Real Madrid. That's not happening in this universe, so why not make lemonade out of lemons? Connor Bradley, the Northern Irishman, is our new right back at Villa Park, making the move south from Liverpool to Birmingham for a pretty decent fee of £28 million. That has left us with more than enough money, lads, to go and get ourselves a bit of squad depth at the left back role. Matson's still my guy to be the number one, but Harrison Burrows is going to join us from Championship side Sheffield as a backup option. And I'm also going to be investing some significant money into our coaches, getting as many 5-star coaches in as possible. The addition of Connor Bradley, not enough to get us into the Champions League though. Liverpool tear away. We finish in 5th position though, back into the Europa League next season. Fulham in 8th, I would be stoked if that happened. Who won the Prem though? It is Manchester City absolutely dominating. Whilst in the relegation zone, it is Wolverhampton, Sunderland and Brentford going down. Okay, they've added the UEFA Women's Champions League into this little section now. It is Chelsea winning that. Newcastle United won the FA Cup. Oh damn, if I click X on it, I can see their stats in the competition in the FA Cup. 4th round exit for us though by Crystal Palace. But we lost the Carabao Cup final. We lost the Carabao Cup. I don't like how it doesn't show the trophy anymore though. I liked having the visual representation, but we lost the Carabao Cup final, beat Man United in the semi-finals, Everton in the quarters. We had an opportunity to win our first trophy of FC26. Real Madrid do win the Champions League. This is a good omen though. Maybe we can get ourselves Champions League football if we win the Europa League. First in league phase play, not a single loss in the Europa League, so we skip the playoffs into the round of 16, we beat Feyenoord 4-1. Come on, fellas. Quarterfinals, we beat Stuttgart on penalties. Into the semi-finals, we're heading to the Europa League final. It would be heartbreaking if we lost another trophy this year, but if we can beat Freiburg in the Europa League final, we will be in the Champions League, and we will have our first trophy of FC26, which we do. We have won the Europa League in season number 1 with Aston Villa. Champions League for the first time in season 2. Come on. Meanwhile, it is Rayo Vallecano winning the Conference League. What a start to FC26 that is. Ollie Watkins, though. What a season from the Englishman. Getting +1 growth, but bagging himself 35 goals. Morgan Rogers at that right midfield spot has an unbelievable year. And John McGinn, I mean, logically, when you think of overall versus age, left mid's probably our next upgrade. But he is giving us every reason not to. Martinez at age 33 goes up to an 87. Matson +4 to an 83. Konsa +1. Torres +1. How did Alexandra goes up +2? That is nice. We've got so many players coming back from loans though. Connor Bradley +2. It's all decent growth. Everybody getting around the 2+ growth. Ealing Jr. only +2 though at Sporting. I'll probably look to loan him out again next season. Gallagher goes up +3 in his first year. There are 3 available jobs though. Can we go in for any of them? So Arne Slot, his job security is very insecure at Liverpool. We can declare interest in that. I'm not planning on doing it, but we can. Oh, the Man United job is available. There are jobs available that we could go in for, but I'm not going to be doing any of that. I just want to get my head around this new feature regardless. An unbelievable first season though as Villa manager. Let's crack on and get into the Champions League. Oh my God. The board have absolutely blessed us financially this year. I'm going only for superstars right now, but I want to do some cleaning out of the squad as well. I want this squad really refined because we have had so many players come back from loans. And it's going to start with Leon Bailey. Back from loan and sold permanently, staying in the Prem though, heading south to West London at Chelsea. I'm going to be doing a mass clean out before I even look at signing some players. It's going to be a 2-year loan move though for Ealing Jr. this time around. And Nedel Jurkovic is heading the Serbian is heading to Villarreal on loan. And when it comes to Lewis Dobbin, he's getting sold to Sheffield United. I didn't expect this deal to go through. I accepted a lot of offers for this guy, but they all got rejected. But it is Finley Munro heading to the Saudi League. They're giving anybody a bag these days. I will not be selling John McGinn though. I do intend on upgrading at the left midfield role, but he's going to stay at the club regardless. Still a few more guys I want to go in for, but our current budget, 189 mil. I think I looked at the wrong number before, which is a new move given I've played this game for over a decade. But with 189 million pounds, I genuinely think we could make the additions to win a Champions League this year. Just a stupidly big move for this season. One of my favorite young players in world football. I'm desperate to see him play in the Premier League. I'm talking about Nico Williams, who in this universe is going to get to play in the Premier League, coming to Villa Park. Our best player, one of the best players in the league for sure at this point. And he is going to help us so much in this Champions League quest. Nico Williams off the bat in FC26 joining us from Bilbao. 88 rated. Oh my God. My controller's making noises. That's how good of a signing it is. Olivier Zich also out of the club. And Sil Swinkels will be joining Spezia in the January window. But this is just a ridiculous team. For season number 2 especially, we're entering the Champions League with a team that could make miracles happen. The best part as well, I'll probably look to upgrade at centre back, but I didn't want to make any rash decisions right now. But we've still got like 67 million pounds. So if I want to spend that money, I definitely can in January. I can't lie, I don't like this interface for the Champions League. I liked having it on the side a lot more, but this is who we're versing in the Champions League. Tough task to start off. We're versing Barcelona in Barcelona, followed by a trip to Milan to face Inter. October, we host Ajax. November, we face Galatasaray. And PSG, UEFA, what are you doing to us? December, we host Bodo Glimt. January, traveling to the Ukraine to take on Dynamo Kiev. And we round it out with a trip to Sweden. So it definitely ends a lot lighter than it started. But bloody hell, if we get through, especially automatic in those top 8 spots, I'm going to be filled with confidence. 1st of January, we sit 6th in the Premier League right now. 34 points, 6 points behind Chelsea. This is not good enough, lads. We need to be getting back to the Champions League year after year. And the disappointing thing, 7 draws, 3 losses. That is killing us right now. That is the reason why we are not in the top 4. He's progressing nicely, but I didn't expect Sugar Daddy to come in and give us 160 million pounds or whatever it was. So I'm going to look to go for an 85 rated center back in this window to upgrade Alexandro. Clearing some deadwood though, I have sold Kerr Smith and Tommy O'Reilly. I'm trying to re-sign players like Ross Barkley and Bizzo, but I'm getting this new message. The player is not looking to engage in contract negotiations for the time being. I don't know if that's one of the new sort of events that can happen, but that is annoying. I was planning on selling Pau Torres to help finance this deal, but that wasn't necessarily. We get it over the line and successfully signed 85 rated Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen, the Ecuadorian center back. We are going to have a sick back line between him and Konsa. We're going to be a rock at the back line. Now it's just a matter of converting those draws into wins. I was simulating to the end of the January window. I've got a tutorial. I think this is the new event thing. Tactical breach. Your team's tactics have been leaked online, meaning your opponents might adapt their tactics to counter yours. Okay, this probably seems like the tamest one we could get. I'm terrified though that I'm just going to be simulating and rebuilds all year. And I'm just going to get some, like my star player being like, all right, I'm out. I understand tactical breach. That might just be a warning shot. Bro, I'm so confused. I simulated February. Apparently, we sold Lamar Bogard and Josh Feeney in that time, both on the 9th. These guys do not have release clauses, and they don't have 6 months remaining on their contract. I am scared that the CPU is just accepting offers on our behalf. This is day 1 of FC26. I'm keeping an eye on this, but I'm a little terrified that that's going to happen. But back to the task at hand. Winning a Champions League with Aston Villa. We finished 14th in league play, meaning we are going to the playoffs with Aston Villa. And in the playoffs, we have been drawn Villarreal. We are going to face the Yellow Submarine. Big expectations on us this year. Traveling away to Spain, taking on Villarreal. Come on, fellas. Our first watched simulated game of the year. And it is a 3-0 win. Watkins, Rogers, Tielemans, that is a huge confidence booster. In an awesome position as we come home to Villa Park. We also set ourselves up though potentially for our first absolute bottling of the series, so of the calendar year, the FC year. We lose the game, but we move on regardless. Into the round of 16 we go with Aston Villa. Oh my god. We've got Real Madrid. Into the round of 16, Real Madrid. This is the real test. Bro, what the fuck is going on? I checked transfer history. Joining Atletico Madrid. Who? Who set this up? Pau Torres and Konsa both joining different clubs at the start of season number 3. Oh my, I'm just going to have to watch every single week when I'm simulating. This is going to be such a time waster. EA, stop selling my players without my consent. I'm actually in such a bad mood because of that. Oh my god. All right, Villa Park at home. If we don't win the Champions League this year, we're not going to have Ezri Konsa. I'm just going to have to watch like a hawk every time I simulate between games to make sure nobody leaves. Imagine if like Williams, when Nico Williams just got sold randomly because I simulated. It's so annoying. We win here. We need, okay, Chouamani gets a red card. We win 1-0. We go into the Bernabeu. I'm fired up now. I am fired up. Come on, fellas. 1-0 up at the Bernabeu. Get us into the quarterfinals and keep the dream alive for season number 2. It is a draw. Ollie Watkins in the 87th minute. We are heading to the Champions League quarterfinals with the biggest scalping of the season, the biggest scalping of the game so far, taking out Real Madrid. Come on, Villa. It's going to be intense. If we're going to go the whole way, it's going to be intense the rest of the way. Bayern Munich next up. Feeling way more confident, though, after that one. Home, Bayern Munich. Can we take down Bayern Munich? 3-1. That Harry Kane goal is annoying. Dude, when I said that I thought we could win a Champions League this year, I said it with a sense of optimism. Now I genuinely believe it. Can we have a 1 Champions League season rebuild to start FC26? All right, our first trip to Munich of FC26, and it could be, barring a disaster, our first trip to the semi-finals. Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas. 1-1, we'll take that. No injuries. Perfect, no injuries. No suspensions. And in season 2, we're into the semi-finals. 3 English teams remain. 26-27 Champions League semi-finals. We're versing Arsenal. We've beaten Real Madrid. We've beaten Bayern Munich. Surely we can beat Arsenal. Surely, fellas. Away for the first leg. Tielemans could have made it 3-1. Saka gets the goal, but we are 2-1 up. So far, I don't want to put the mocker on us. I don't want to jinx us, but this has been a dream start to FC26, besides the player sales. A draw or a win gets us into a Champions League final here in Season 2. This would be the dream start to the year. 2-1 up against Arsenal. Come on, Villa. Come on, Villa. We do it with ease. Oh my God. I thought this was going to be at least 3 or 4 years before we got into a Champions League final. We've just taken down Arsenal 5-1, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, and we're versing either Man City or RB Leipzig in a Champions League final. And if it's Leipzig, I might have to change my jersey. Oh, the shirt's going to get changed. Leipzig beat Man City in a penalty shootout. We have such a good opportunity. All right, fellas. We've changed it. The Ronaldinho shirt is on for good luck. If we actually won a Champions League in our second season, I would be taken aback. I mean, Europa League last year, Champions League this year. I look around the grounds. Liverpool have won the Europa League. Sporting win the Conference League. Oh my God. All right. Look how many draws we have. We have 5 losses, 16 draws. We finished 6th on 67 points. Dude, we have the 3rd least amount of losses in the entire league. But 16 draws is got to be the most. Yeah, that's the most. That's more than the relegated sides, which are Burnley, Leicester, and Sheffield. But that is absolutely woeful, bro. That puts a lot more pressure on us. If we don't win the Champions League tonight, we're going to have to wait until Season 4. FA Cup goes to Newcastle and the Carabao goes to Arsenal. We went out in the quarterfinals to Swansea. We did lose to Real Madrid at one point this year, though. That was in the Super Cup, where it really didn't matter. At least we beat them in the Champions League. Ollie Watkins with another unbelievable season, though. 45 goal contributions. Williams, great year. Tielemans, awesome year. I'm so excited, bro. This is going to be my first game of FC26, and it is a damn Champions League final. The pressure is on. Leipzig with a little bit of an advantage here, though. They are in Germany. We are in Germany. Leipzig versus Aston Villa, my first game of FC26. I'm hoping this is going to be a great year of gameplay. Let's see what we think about it. I still can't get over that run we've had to this spot. Timo Werner. This graphics package is definitely a little different compared to previous years, but still feels like same old, same old. But here we go. FC26 gameplay officially underway. God, it's definitely slower, but I want to make something happen here. Williams, just go with Williams. That movement on the ball. My first shot of FC26 is a goal. Nico Williams, that overlay is sexy, bro. That overlay is sexy. Nico Williams, the movement on the ball, an absolute rocket. And within 7.5 minutes, we have our first goal of FC26. Corner for Leipzig. They put a good ball in there. Orban goes back to Vermeeren, who goes for an audacious attempt. You can try that all day. Gallagher, this is nice footy, though. My whole attack's going through Williams. The defender stepped up a little high. I want to get it, though, to Ollie Watkins. Watkins cannot get there, but we will get a corner. I swear, if I lose to Timo Werner and Mateta, I'll be mad. The AI feels really, really slow and bad in this game. I can't lie. Like, that passage of play was disgustingly boring and dull and uninspired there from Leipzig. I don't know if that's a player thing or whether that's the game or whether I'm on like the wrong setting, but we have an opportunity not anymore. Oh, good ball out there from Watkins to Rogers. Our midfielders, our wide midfielders have been our most productive outlets for this game so far. Can't lie, this feels like I'm playing on amateur right now. I am not impressed with this gameplay. Get the follow-up. There we go. Watkins is going to surely double our lead. I need to play around with these settings, though, because what I'm playing on right now, especially with the opposition, kind of sucks. Would love a third goal right now. Rogers, Watkins, back to Rogers here. Morgan Rogers had a great game. Had his shot saved before. I want to go back post. Get it in there. Header Conor Gallagher. That was absolutely atrocious. Go on, Williams, bro. He's a beast. Williams is actually a beast. Can he finish this off with an exclamation mark? Yes, he can. We are going to have a comprehensive victory to win our opening rebuild of FC26. Williams with the brace in stoppage time. Absolutely sensational, lads. I can't lie. When I was getting my game plan ready for what rebuild I wanted to start FC26 with, I thought doing Aston Villa was a pretty bold choice. But in reality, we have absolutely brained it. 2 seasons was not on my bingo card. I thought we were going to start it off with a 3-4-5 season rebuild, but Aston Villa They're a fun team, bro. Oh, okay. They're cutting to the pub in Birmingham. That is a new part of the cutscene. Cutting to the pub in Birmingham. That is awesome. But this aspect of it all remains the same. Captain Martinez to lift the Champions League trophy for Aston Villa. Got to get my bearings with this game, but so far, so good. Aston Villa, the first club to win a Champions League in FC26. But lads, if you enjoyed our first video of FC26, make sure you leave a like, click here to subscribe, and click here to check out another video.